Everybody. So I've got another dev video here. So I've got this grappling hook working now. It took a bit of effort. I figured out that forcing movement client side is a really stupid idea. So if you tell the entity to say like move forward like this, and you do that client side, and you hit a wall, you're gonna get null back on all your collision boxes. Took a few tries, a few bit of testing to figure that out. Reality of what I actually did is I commented out my move handler, and as soon as I commented out, it was like, "Hey, everything's working again." And I was like, "Whoa!" Then it's definitely the collision block thing. But I also, if you notice, I replaced it with cancel motions. That actually got me the same exact result I was looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get rid of my current grappling hook. So right click to get rid of that, left click to grapple the new hook, and then hold left click to pull in. And you notice I am now hovering above everything. Now I cannot move forward, backwards, everything because my controls are actually disabled client side. So if I press forward, nothing happens. Now it does register the key and everything, and it is registering that I am currently 19 meters away from the current spot. Let's go ahead and pull the rest of the way in and see if I can see. There should be an entity here. I am not seeing the entity. Let's go ahead and break a couple blocks real quick. Yeah, right there he is. He's just on the complete, utterly wrong side of where he's supposed to be. So yeah, there's a little entity, and he actually is what tracks the grapple. If I right-click, goodbye, he disappears. And then I land here. See, he appears there. That's what's going to actually end up rendering the hook itself. Right now I've got it set to a little block until the models finally bother to download. I sync all my models through Google Drive. If you're starting off mod developing, I recommend Google Drive and Dropbox for doing all your assets and stuff when you need to ask somebody to make assets for you. Because all they have to do is they put it in the Google Drive and it downloads for you automatically. I can actually show this really quick since these videos are meant to be more dev insight videos than just me showing off what I'm working on. So yeah, I got a Google Drive in here. I've got a work folder. Now I keep my freelance projects in here. I keep just about everything in here that I need to be working on. But then I've got one for the mods by themselves. So there's Minecraft in here, everything Minecraft related. Here's a request folder. Anybody and everybody who makes assets for me, put stuff in here. Now assets are not just models and textures. They can be maps, they can be item data, they can be anything that would not be a piece of code is an asset. So anything you have to load in from the software is an asset, as long as it's not code itself. And we've got just a little bit of everything in here. Great way to keep track of everything. It also is a great way to keep backups on all my assets, and as well keep assets that aren't necessarily synced to remotes. Although when you're actually working, make sure you're syncing your assets to GitHub itself. So if I actually open up a project in here, when you make mods, your assets should go in a resource folder, and they should stay in here. Everything you're using should be in your assets folder. That way when you sync your project to GitHub and somebody looks at it, goes like, oh yeah, these are where your assets are. And then if you say lose your local, you don't lose all your assets. Now a lot of developers don't sync their assets remote, and I've watched many developers have to go find a copy of their mods, pull the assets out of them, and then put them back into the code base because they didn't do something. Now GitHub isn't really designed for syncing assets, but it does a decent enough job, and it allows you to keep track of your changes. So if I have like 2 versions of an asset, I don't need to keep track of the old version for the simple reason that GitHub is doing that for me. It'll actually do this in this file here. It'll keep track of literally everything. If I can open up objects, somewhere in this massive mess is the old versions. And how you can get to those is if you open these up, say I go to the armory mod. Git tools will keep track of all your changes. Now these are actually kept inside that .git. All these changes, all these messages, everything in here. Everything you have ever done is kept as a change in here. So it'll go like, hey, here's new line changes. It'll do all that. But it doesn't just do that for the text files. It'll also do that for all your asset files and everything else. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is working. I'll get another video here when I get it all finalized. I'm going to probably do the rope renderer here pretty soon. And then that's going to probably take me sometime today and probably a little bit of tomorrow to finish up the rope render, and when that's done, this is a finished product. The only thing I gotta do is polish out some controls, add localizations, get the models in here, which I'm hoping Google will finally bother to download, because this, for some reason, just on my computer, because everybody else's seem to work, mine fails to download. And I think it has something to do with all the software I run interferes with each other. Because this software right here, for example, which is source tree, it'll fail every so often on synchronizing with the file system and synchronizing with online. And when it does that, you can like click it, and even though it's showing a file change here, it'll be like, hey, you have a file change, and you open it up, and then there'll be nothing in here, and you'll hit like local tree, and then it'll show nothing in there. It does that quite often on my stuff. But other than that, get more videos out here later, and I'll see you.